Okay, so we're going to look at a couple examples of modeling percent expressions. So here's our first example. Let's say that we are purchasing an item, and that item costs X dollars, and we know that the price of the item is going to be marked up by 10%. The first thing I will do is make myself a bar model for this situation. So I'm going to start off with a normal bar. And that first bar that I draw represents the original price of the item, which in this case is X. So I'm going to label it as being worth X. I know that the item is going to be marked up, which means the price is getting higher. So I'm going to extend my bar model to represent an increase of 10%, which isn't a whole lot, so I'll keep that a small section. And I'm just going to shade it in so that it kind of stands out to me. And I want to label what this little piece is worth. And this little piece is worth 10% of whatever the price is. So another way of writing that would be 0.10, which is 10% as a decimal, times the price of X. And from this, I can now write two expressions that represent the price of the item. So my first expression would be the original price X plus 10% of X. Or if I combine my like terms, keeping in mind that there's a 1 sitting in front of this X, my second expression would be 1.1X. What's great about this is if I knew what X actually is equal to, so for example, if I say that X equals $20, I could take either of these expressions and figure out the sale price. So I could replace X with a 20. So 1 times 20 is 20. 10% of 20 is 2. And find out that my sale price is $22. I could also use my other equation. We'll do this one in green. So if I take 1.1x and I replace, oh, the green didn't work. Let's try that again. My other expression, 1.1, replace x with the 20, I would still get my final price of 22. Another example we have, let's say we're buying an item and it's worth Y dollars, and this time it's on sale for 30% off. So again, I'll start with my bar model. So here's my bar, and that bar represents the original price, which in this case is Y, so I'm going to label it as Y. And this time the price is getting smaller because it's on sale. So to show that, I'm going to make my bar smaller. So I'm going to estimate about where 30% would be. And I know if I cut the bar in half, that's 50%. If I cut it in fourths, that's 25%. And this is a little bit more than 25. So I'm going to go right here and just shade it in to make it a little more obvious. Okay, and I'm going to label this section. So this piece right here represents the 30% off. So this is 30% of whatever my total price is, which we know to be Y. So it's 0.3Y. So my expression could be the price Y minus 30% of the price. Or again, I know that there's a 1 sitting here. I can simplify that by combining my like terms. 1 minus 0.03 is 0.7y. And again, if I knew what y is equal to, I could sub it into each of these expressions and get my actual sale price.